Welcome to the Field of 68 After Dark's YouTube channel. We are going to be live every Tuesday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time right here on YouTube and on Stadium for the entirety of the spring. Fanta, everything you just said is 100% correct, right? And I do believe he will be the face of college basketball, mostly because he understands how to kind of develop this character aspect where he wants that attention. Like there's a level of it. It's not. I don't think it's a coincidence that you see him showing up at like WWE events and watching these guys and then going out in public and kind of playing the heel. Like he's embraced that. And I do think that there is a level of, there's something about guys from the Northeast, guys from New York, guys from Jersey City that don't mind being the villain, that don't mind being the enemy. And when they win, don't mind rubbing your face in it. And I think that he's got that. And I think that plays well with his fan base. And I think that it creates a level of dislike with some of the other fan bases in and around college basketball. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. If we're going to have 3 more years of Dan Hurley versus Rick Pitino in the Big East, like, sign me up for that theater, man. Like, who doesn't want to see that? It'll be awesome. And I will just add, Phantom, Billy Donovan said no, took the Orlando Magic job in 2007, came back to school, coached 8 more years at Florida, and then got hired by Oklahoma. It was Oklahoma City, right? In 2015, after leaving Florida to a 16-17 season where they didn't even make the NIT. So the NBA, he's always going to have an opportunity there. You're not always going to have an opportunity to three.
Jeff, 2 thoughts here. Number one, think about this. Just over 2 years ago, Dan Hurley loses to Chris Jans in New Mexico State and Teddy Allen. Yeah, Teddy Allen and New Mexico State in Buffalo, a nightmare day. A nightmare day. Just over 2 years later, everything's on the table for him. He's king of the hill in college basketball. What a difference that makes. And number 2, Jeff, can you say in your reporting here, because you know what the immediate reaction is for widespread? Well, he played this like a fiddle. He just used this to then push the UConn offer up. Can we do some reasoning here on that? Because this was not just let me go out to LA and have a vacation.
No, I think honestly they had to convince him to go to LA for that meeting. I don't think initially he really was all into it, but again, the more he thought about it, the more he thought it's an opportunity that you can't pass up, and you'll regret at least if you don't look into it. Now, Dan Hurley still may regret this one. He may regret this one in 2 years if UConn dips a little bit. I don't think they're going to dip that far that he'll regret it, but he could. He absolutely could regret not coaching the Los Angeles Lakers because, again, okay, yeah, there'll be other NBA jobs. You think he's going to Portland? Do you think he's going to some of these other jobs that are going to open up that, the Detroits of the world? No, he's not going to those. There's only a handful of either, the jobs, the franchise jobs, the Celtics, Lakers, or the jobs like Oklahoma City, Minnesota, that have the talent to be able to compete at the highest level right now due to their current rosters. So it's going to be interesting to see if in 10, 15 years down the road that when you talk to Dan Hurley and you ask him, hey, do you regret? Because I think Tom Izzo regrets not giving the NBA a chance. I do. He had a couple opportunities. I think absolutely the window is closed for Tom Izzo at this point in his career. But I think he probably, if he had a chance to do it all over again, he might have said, you know what? I probably should have taken a shot there with the Cavs or somebody.
Right, Can I just I want to clarify something for you. I think that Dan Hurley would take the opportunity to coach the Detroit Pistons. I think he'd take the opportunity to go to Portland and coach Trailblazers. I think Dan Hurley would. But in your so eloquent words, Jeff, he's got to bring Andrea with him, and that's the one who's going to make the decision. Thanks for watching the Field of 68 After Dark. Make sure to hit that like button.